What up, y'all? Today is March 6th, and we have Venus conjunct Mars in Aquarius. Now, this conjunction is going to happen at 0 degrees, 2 minutes. So wherever 0 degrees Aquarius is at in your chart, this is where it's going to hit you the hardest. And the houses ruled by Venus and Mars. Venus rules Libra, it rules Taurus, and Mars rules Aries. So the houses with Aries, Taurus, and Libra on your house cusp are going to be affected the most. So you want to look to your chart and see where you got, Venus, Libra, and Aries. And you also want to find out where 0 degrees Aquarius is at in your chart, because that's where it's going to hit the hardest. That's where the energy is going to be the most active. If it's in your second house of money, your desire to, appreciate your assets, including your personality and your personal values, because the second house rules your values and your self-worth. It's going to help you out. If it's in your first house, it's going to be your personal uniqueness and individuality that we're talking about. Now, Venus and Mars get together because Venus is conjunct in Mars. It tapers down the passion a little bit, and it's not so lusty and ego driven. And it allows you to reflect on your needs and how your needs, how you assert yourself in getting your needs accomplished. Now, what I will say is anytime Venus and Mars get together, it brings about a lot of sexual energy and animal magnetism, a lot of passion in whatever you're doing, And when I say sexual energy, I mean creative energy, because the purpose of sex is creation. And even if you're not having sex, you can have sexual magnetism and attraction that draws people to your uniqueness and helps you assert yourself in these unique ways. It's the creative force, passion, drive, lust, desire. We always associate these things with sex, but you're passionate about your goals. You're passionate about your dreams. You desire to achieve. These are things that you also need to appreciate and understand. They come from sexual energy, because sex is the process of creation. This is the energy of the second chakra, the sacral chakra, and this allows you to really manifest your creative energy. You can feel it whirling around. And that's where you feel desire and lust in your loins. You feel that within your body in that area. You can tap into that same energy when it comes to manifesting your creative endeavors, asserting yourself and accomplishing the things that you're passionate about. So again, this Mars-Venus conjunction gives you the power you need to assert your passion and unique in ways that are very individual to your own self. Embrace it. Take advantage of it. And Venus also enters Aquarius today. Venus is the planet of self-reflection. Are you reflecting on your needs? Venus in Aquarius, it speaks of an unconventional love and unconventional desires. Free, independent love, faithful to your own free will, and not allowing yourself to be bound in by anybody else's understandings of your love for yourself. Depending on which house it's traveling through is going to determine more so how it affects you, whether it's a love for learning in the 3rd or 9th house, the love of, your resources and self-worth in your 2nd house, or, physical love in your 5th or 8th house. If you got, your rulership book, where to look to see where it's going to affect you the most. So with Venus in Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius can make some of your relationships and engagement, whether it's physical and sexual or intimate relationships, or personal relationship, business, work relationships, or your relationship with knowledge or whatever the house rules that it's going through. It can make it superficial at times. It can make it, unreliable and wishy-washy. You have to learn how to be deeply engaged with things without allowing yourself to be bound by these things. The sign of Aquarius gives an exploratory nature. And as I always say, Venus is the planet of self-reflection. It's the hand mirror. So you can, explore yourself and explore different ideas about, how you feel about yourself and what, helps you feel good about yourself and embrace your own inner beauty by not being attached to it. And you can not be attached to these things while still exploring them in a serious way. You're going to look at the houses that Venus rules in your chart. Wherever you got Libra and Taurus on the cusp, this energy is gonna hit you hard in those houses, and whatever house Aquarius is in on your chart, because that's the house that the planet Venus is going to be moving through at this time. It's a really good time for self-discovery and self-reflection, allowing new things to come forth, because uniqueness and innovativeness, inventiveness, all these things are ruled by Aquarius. And Venus is the sign of self-reflection. So it's important that you grasp and understand your uniqueness in these areas. Understand your uniqueness, understand your abstract thinking, because these are things that can help you move forward in life. Take advantage of the energy. Try different things out. Explore the things that come to your interest, especially if you're looking forward, looking at tech and things like that. It's going to help you improve your understanding. If you want to get into a computer course or study cryptocurrency, things like that at this time, it's really good. If you're trying to learn tech at this time, it's a really good time to do so. We have Mars moving into Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius is about revolution. It brings about revolutionary ideas and thoughts, the desire to rebel against the status quo. It gives a unusual and eccentric approach to pursuing goals. Sometimes it's, theoretical and abstract, and sometimes it actually manifests into the physical world, depending on what other aspects are going on in your chart. This is the energy of the individualist. It helps you start asserting yourself in a more individual, imaginative, and unique way. And sometimes it makes you out to be the lone wolf, because you see yourself as someone that no one else understands and you don't fit in. But you can fit in, because Aquarius is also the sign of universal acceptance. If you get over your fear of, not being accepted due to your uniqueness and, the way that you choose to assert yourself and operate, then things will go well and you don't have to deal with that, cumbersome loneliness. Mars in Aquarius also brings out the desire to move more strategically and be more clever, but at the same time, this can give you the energy that makes you look down on, your competition and opponents. And this can make you lose in the end when you start to underestimate people. Because Mars is one of the signs of sexuality, depending on where Mars is at in your chart, if it's moving through your 5th or your 8th house, you might want to do a little more, things that are outside the sexual norm and assert yourself, sexually in more unique ways, whether, you're straight or gay or whatever your sexual disposition is. You're going to be exploring your sexuality more. And, sometimes it's going to bring out some strange things. Sometimes it's going to bring out some create uniqueness. But embrace who you are and be who you are, and allow yourself to, not isolate yourself due to your unique ways of asserting yourself. Peace.